Yes, Sandra. So we are in my home office, and Kevin is in his studio with all of our Blu-rays in the
With the book.
background in the basement.
Yes, yes. He
Got
tried to
you.
go for the intellectual. I have a lot of books. See, I'm smart,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You went for the, I'm going to
Yeah.
surprise you. I'm going to stay more ethereal, eclectic, artsy. I like it. I like it.
Yes. I mean, I have a lot up here, but yes, first of all, congratulations on this film. Kevin and I were hooked every single minute of it. We didn't even pause it once. Loved both of your performances so much. I love one of the best scenes in the film is when your characters meet outside and Vincent tells Ruth, this is how you decide what you're going to be. And he's almost like a guardian angel to her. And he just truly wants her to do better. And I'm curious for the two of you, how you decided how you were going to play this relationship with them on screen. Sandra, I want to begin with you.
Well, I can't, when you are in the presence of actors who come to work prepared with power and they have their objective, the best thing you can do is just listen. And Rob has such depth and he's so evolved and he's so complex, but there is such an inherent knowledge and kindness just to Rob is a human being that no matter what layer he puts in front of the character and what armor, he beams through. So you have this person who's challenging her, who will not let her slide, who will not forgive her if she's messed up. He has a job to do. But yet Rob Morgan will come out no matter what. So you listen, I listened. You react to Rob and his character, I reacted. And it's easy when you have actors like that opposite you. They're going to elevate you no matter what. That's
well,
what he
Rob,
does.
I think you just found your biggest fan. What do you have to say to that?
Well, I'm her biggest fan, likewise. That scene I thought was one of the most like beautiful scenes for our relationship in the movie because it was like set in the water and sunlight. It was so beautiful and tranquil, and you have this woman going through this tumultuous human experience, and then we meet there, and it's like the total opposite of what you would expect happens, you know. And then one of my favorite lines of that scene was when we said, clean yourself up, act like I'm teaching you something.
Love it. I know.
And then right after that, she's like in this dorm, I don't want to give too much away, but you see what she does right after that. And I thought that was just beautiful and brilliant. And that was just us playing off of each other and Nora setting a safe set for us to feel free enough to be our best in those voices for those characters at the moment.
Gorgeous scene. Absolutely loved it and loved both of those answers. Sandra, I feel like you're one of the few actors who can literally do any genre perfectly, like practical magic with the fantasy. Yes, practical magic is obviously like one of my personal faves with the fantasy romance. I mean, Gravity is my husband's fave. Speed is also his favorite. I'm curious for you, is there a particular genre that you just thrive and love acting in, or is there something that you have your sights on next?
I mean, I love the genre of motherhood. You never, as a friend of mine said, you never know the feeling of loving something and wanting to kill it so much in the same moment. It's like, why can you not listen? And then they're gone. I'm like, I miss you. Not really. I mean, I love comedy. I love it. I miss it. I immediately had to do a comedy after this one. It is the unsung hero of I think the cinema. You know who's brilliantly funny? Mr. Rob Morgan. I mean, to do a comedy and to find partnerships, it's stand-up comics are a unicorn. I don't know how they do it, but I love being in a room with another human being and playing ping pong with comedy and timing and physicality. And to me, I'll always go back to that. And plus, we're entertainers. Our job is to make you laugh and escape, and you can't always do that with drama, but what I love about this film that we did, it's a whodunit, a murder, and you're wondering why. You just want to get to the end and go, why did you think that this was okay to do? What and you find out why she did what she did,
I love the ending and I was shocked. That's all I will say about it. I appreciate it so much. And yes, comedy is so underrated. For example, like Eddie Murphy should have won an Oscar for The Nutty Professor. Like just things like that. Comedy is so underappreciated and so hard to do. So I love that answer. Appreciate you both so much and cannot wait for fans to see The Unforgivable. Thank you.
Thank you, Lauren.
Now go back downstairs and have lunch with your husband.
Yes,
Yeah.
I will. Vincent, first of all, congratulations on this film. I was hooked every single minute of it, and I had so much fun watching it. It was one of my favorite mystery dramas of this year. So, first of all, congratulations.
Thanks.
Yes, I loved your character, John, and how he chose to see the good in Sandra Bullock's character, Ruth, and that she really was truly looking for a second chance. And the film really does a great job of balancing feeling bad for her, but also kind of realizing that she still did this horrendous crime. I'm just curious how you kind of approached the character that way and finding that balance of how the audience saw Ruth.
Yeah, no, it's my character is there to show that there are people that think that others deserve a second chance. As long as they're honest and straightforward. So she's a bit of a challenge when it comes to that, but I think that he wants to give her the benefit of the doubt,
Yeah.
because she's it's obviously she's made this effort to come to her house, and I think he feels sort of responsible that she comes to their home and has got these deep feelings about her past. And I think that he sees in her somebody who wants to work for a second chance in life.
Yeah, no, 100%. Well, your character, John, is married to Viola Davis's character. And I'm curious what the conversations were like between you and Viola prior to filming and how you were going to tackle this married couple.
Well, I think that her and I just, we talked a little bit about it, and I think that we have such opposing views when the film first starts, and of Sandra's character, and so it was to make sure that we perceive things differently, but also as a couple, as a husband and wife, so that there was a mutual respect between us and a connection between us, even though we disagreed. That's what we had to accomplish. And I think that with Viola is such a skilled actress that you can, when we had conversations like that, when we did come to the set and actually try and do that, we seemed to be we had a great time. We seemed to be very successful at doing that. I think that was the right way to go.
Yeah, no, and it definitely comes off great on screen as well. Well, there was obviously, certain films that I watched with my family growing up, specifically with my dad. And one of those, of course, was Full Metal Jacket, one of the best movies of all time. I know you've heard, everyone tell you that performance and everything was amazing, but I was talking to my dad today and it just got me thinking, what are some of the movies that were iconic with you when you watched with your family growing up? Does anything like that come to mind?
Oh, wow. You mean when I was very young? Are we talking?
And I mean, I watched it probably for the first time when I was like in 5th grade, so like late elementary school.
Yeah. Well, I don't think anything is quite as heavy as that, my film. But I think that it was, we used to go to the movies and see like Disney films and animations and that kind of stuff, and James Bond films and that. I think that those were the kind of, like it was sort of like action movies and animations,
Yeah. I mean, Full Metal Jacket was just one. I mean, definitely was raised on Star Wars and James Bond and all too. And I love your Hitchcock art in the back. I know you're a big cinephile. So Vincent, I appreciate your time today, and I can't wait for fans to see this film. Your performance is incredible. Appreciate your time, sir.
Thanks very much.
Nora, congratulations on this film. I believe you just spoke with my husband, Kevin, who just interviewed you. Yes, we love the film so much. Did not pause it at all. I was completely hooked the entire time. I really felt like this film did an excellent and realistic job on what it was like to highlight a woman coming out of prison for all of these years and coming back into the real world. I'm honestly just curious what type of research you and Sandra did in order to make sure you got that portrayal portrayal so accurate?
Well, we went into prisons. We met with women who are inside prisons. We also met women who are outside, recently got released or got released a few years ago to get as many different perspectives as we could, to create the truth for our character.
Yeah, no, I love that answer. I also just love how beautiful and gritty the film was shot. And I know that you filmed on location in Vancouver, Canada, one of my favorite places for filming movies and TV. I'm curious what your experience was like in filming in Vancouver, because it just looked so beautiful.
I love filming in Vancouver. Vancouver. I mean, it's great to work there. Great crews, great people. Absolute stunning and very diverse nature also. And we had to stop the shoot because of COVID, and then we filmed 5 months later. So the first part of the film, or I mean, we didn't film chronologically, so the half of the film was shot in winter, the other half in summer, and it was quite a challenge to make the two kind of merge together so that you don't realize that it sort of feels like the same time of year.
Wow, I had absolutely no idea that the seasons were broken up. Well, you could not
That's
tell.
great.
Like, yeah, I was gonna say the continuity and everything was amazing. Well, another thing that I loved about the film is also just the importance of children and foster care and just going to good foster care homes. And I'm curious if there was any particular research or maybe children you spoke with in foster care, like you did with the prison research.
Well, yeah, I think that had happened before. The movie I directed before takes place in the foster care system. So that was a long project. I worked on that for 6 years. So that kind of world I partly understood, not so much the American system of it. I had to do a little bit more of a cultural research and see how it differs. But yes, I mean, the trauma that you experience when you lose a child, or a child loses a parent, or they get separated for whatever reason, is very severe. Even if the child doesn't remember, because it happens early, there's a lot of impact that it has. And it's definitely worth taking a closer look.
Yeah. Well, when I was just speaking with Sandra and Rob, I was talking with them about there's so many beautiful scenes between the two of their characters. And I'm curious for you as a director, especially that you had to film during two different seasons. Is there a moment when you were on set and you just got completely lost or got super emotional during the story? Because there were so many times where I was getting teary-eyed.
Yeah, I cried a lot on set, when takes happen that moved me so much. Not just once, for sure.
It honestly seems like that would be the case, but it does seem like you guys had a really great time making it. Nora, I appreciate your time today, and I can't wait for fans to see the film when it's out on Netflix next month.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it so much. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.